In the late 1800s, when America was transforming from a rural nation into an industrial powerhouse, one man's vision and relentless drive changed the economy forever. His name was John D. Rockefeller, and he would go on to create the first billion-dollar company in U.S. history, Standard Oil. How did he do it, and why does his story still matter today? Let's start at the beginning. Rockefeller wasn't born into wealth. He came from a modest family in Richford, New York in 1839. His father was a traveling salesman with a questionable reputation, and his mother, a devout and frugal woman, taught young John discipline and the value of saving money. Growing up, Rockefeller witnessed the poverty that can come from an unstable economy, and he vowed to create a life of financial stability for himself. By age 16, he had taught himself accounting and taken a job as an assistant bookkeeper for a produce commission firm in Cleveland, Ohio. There he earned a wage of 50 cents a day, but soon his diligence, honesty, and work ethic made him stand out. Within a few years, he was promoted to the position of treasurer. It wasn't a lot of money, but he saved most of his earnings and reinvested them in himself. By educating himself on new business practices and emerging industries, and soon he would find his big opportunity in oil. By the time Rockefeller was in his 20s, the oil industry was booming. Kerosene, made from crude oil, was becoming the primary fuel for lamps across America, replacing candles and whale oil. And there were thousands of small refineries springing up across the country. But Rockefeller knew that this industry, like many others, needed consolidation. So in 1870, he co-founded the Standard Oil Company in Ohio with 7 other businessmen. They pooled their money together and bought a refinery in Cleveland. But Rockefeller quickly became the dominant force in the company. He pushed to expand the business by any means necessary. And by 1872, he had bought out his partners, giving him full control of the company. Now, Rockefeller wasn't a visionary in the sense that he didn't invent kerosene or oil refining, but he was a brilliant tactician who cut costs wherever possible. He would buy out competitors or force them to join him. He negotiated exclusive deals with railroads to ship oil at lower prices, and he employed aggressive sales tactics to push Standard Oil products into new markets. Most importantly, he created an efficient and centralized system for refining and distributing oil, which allowed him to undercut his competitors on price without sacrificing quality. This strategy paid off big time. By the end of the 1870s, Standard Oil was the largest refinery in the United States, controlling nearly 25% of the nation's oil production. But Rockefeller wasn't done yet. He set his sights on becoming the world's first billionaire. By the turn of the century, Rockefeller had grown Standard Oil into a massive multinational corporation. The company produced almost 1/3 of the world's kerosene and was the largest company in the world by far. In fact, Standard Oil grew so large and powerful that in 1911 the U.S. Supreme Court ruled it was a monopoly and ordered it to be broken up into 30 for smaller companies. Ironically, this breakup only made Rockefeller wealthier because those smaller companies like Exxon, Chevron, and Mobil went on to become some of the largest and most valuable companies in the world. At its peak, Standard Oil controlled every aspect of the oil industry, from the wells to the refineries, to the pipelines to the gas stations, and no company in the world has ever achieved that level of vertical integration since. By then, Rockefeller had amassed a fortune that made him the richest man in modern history, with an estimated wealth equivalent to $400 billion today. Despite being known as a ruthless businessman, Rockefeller gave away much of his wealth later in life. He founded the University of Chicago, which he helped transform into a world-class institution. He funded medical research, including efforts that led to cures for diseases like hookworm and yellow fever. And he established countless charities and foundations that addressed a wide range of social issues. He once said, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced." And Rockefeller certainly didn't want to die with his reputation disgraced. So why does this story still matter today? Well, John D. Rockefeller's life is both inspiring and controversial. He showed how determination and strategy can build empires, but also how unchecked power can dominate entire industries. His legacy continues today, not just in oil and business, but in philanthropy and the very idea of wealth in America. Rockefeller wasn't just the man who built America's first billion-dollar company. He was the man who defined what it meant to be rich and powerful in the modern world. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to learn more about the incredible stories of the world's richest people, stay tuned.